It's me again. Always an awesome opportunity to be able to talk to you out there who regularly consume my content. 2019, I promised was going to be different, and we're giving it all we have to be able to drive this message to as many people as possible. I think the idea today is basically touching base with what we call the physical pillar. If you've been following me, you're an adage consumer of my content. I tie the personal developmental journey to three pillars, and those three pillars are basically the spiritual, physical, and the mental. And what I decided to do today is pick one of the pillars and kind of give it some sort of a high level view in terms of what is expected. And today we're going to be looking at what I call the physical pillar that is tied to the personal developmental journey. Hey, come on. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. Pretty quick stuff, but, straight to the point and, just get the message there. What if I told you to pick a car of your choice? Any car. Fast, you wanted it flashy, you wanted it room to have a bit of space, truck, sport car, an SUV, or just a family type car. And I said I would pay for it. Ideally, you pick the car, I pay for it. But the twist here is that having you pick the car, I then said to you that you can't have any other car till it's over for you. So basically, you're stuck with this one car for the rest of your life. Now, if I'm going to tie that to the physical pillar, it's basically saying that we only have one body. There's just one physical frame that belongs to each individual. And what that means is that you can't, at some point, decide to jump off your frame and jump into the next person's frame because maybe something doesn't work well or something doesn't suit you well, or you're not tall enough, or you're not short enough, or you're not wide enough, or you're not slim enough, or you don't have a six-pack. Whatever the case is, the point is that we are all stuck in one physical frame, and that frame is called a human being. Now, the point of the physical pillar tied to the personal developmental journey is basically this. If you want to be able to put out your best work, right, you're going to have to be fit. And what does that mean? What does fitness actually mean? It means that you have the level of energy required for you to be able to put out your best work. There's a lot of work around, individuals trying to put together a lot of work in that space. There's a lot of, content out there, nutrition. There's a lot of emphasis on health now, a lot of gyms. If you compare to 10, 20 years ago or my parents' time, a gym wasn't really significant. A gym was tied to a sports person, an athlete. And now you don't have to be a footballer, a basketballer, or someone who's into that sport and arena to be able to wanting to keep fit. Why do you think all this is happening? It's happening because people have realized that for them to be able to stay on top of the game, whatever game they're playing, they need to be fit. I can go on and on about change, you wanting more, you becoming more. But think about it, if you don't feel good, how can you want more? How can you become more? It doesn't plug in together. And the reason why I took time today to really, really break it down is that on this personal developmental journey, the physical pillar is also very critical, right? All three of the pillars work hand in hand. If you took out one and you concentrated on two, you still not get the full all-round 360 view of that journey. And what am I simply saying to us today? If you're one who has keyed into the personal developmental journey or one who's thinking about keying into it, right? The physical pillar is pivotal. You're going to have to start to think about your nutrition, what you eat, what you put in your body, in terms of also thinking about, some of the destructive things that would, put your level of fitness on a lower stage. If you're one who drinks excessively, you are going to have to want to check that. And I'll give you a very good example. And this is basically me. I drink, and I realized that when I started the personal developmental journey, I started questioning drinking at certain times of the week. And I'll give you a good example. Sometimes in my past life, and even early stages of the personal developmental journey, I would probably hang out on a Wednesday after work. I would drink, and what I would find out is that when I wake up on a Thursday, I don't get myself to like maybe midday, depending on the amount of alcohol I'd consumed the night before. And sometimes I'll have to, take some painkillers. I have to have a very strong cup of coffee in the morning so that, I just ginger my system to be able to act like it's normal. I'm not saying drinking is a problem. I'm just saying it becomes a problem when it begins to affect your level of fitness. And we all know that fitness basically is tied to the personal developmental journey and basically how much energy you are able to put forward into what you have to deliver. Now, what I then decided to do over time was to pick certain periods in the week, in a proper week, right, to now engage in drinking. So ideally, I wouldn't want to drink during the week. I would want to drink maybe a Friday or a Saturday, right? So that I know that at least I still have like a day of recovery to be able to get myself together and start a Monday afresh. I'm not telling you how to go about drinking or when to drink. I'm just trying to give you an analogy basically of how drinking affected my level of energy, and that basically tied into my level of fitness. Now, if you're one to, if you're on drugs, it will be the same thing. It's even worse because if you're in drugs, you're going to be in la la land, and there's no chance you're going to be able to stick and be consistent with the personal developmental journey. Whatever seems to be affecting you, if you're one that doesn't sleep properly, I know people who get like 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep every day. And when I talk to them, they say they're hustling. They say they're trying to secure the bag. They say there's all sorts of they says, and it just keeps, it forms a shield why they should still sleep a certain amount. I feel personally, yes, I know you're hustling. I know you're trying to secure the bag, but if you do not rest properly, it will still. Not, I'm even talking about you that doesn't even drink or consume any form of sedatives or drugs or whatever. It will still affect your next day. It will affect your output, right? It will affect your energy level. It will affect your fitness because you're not sleeping adequately, right? You're almost in the same shoes with someone who drank excessively a night before or someone who has a drug problem. You're more or less almost in the same boat. Baggy eyes, red eyes, you can't key into the morning, your mornings are slow, everything is just a bit draggy. And, it now translates into the amount of energy you're directly going to put out into developing and achieving your best work. Guys, I can go on and on and on. What am I simply trying to say? Your frame, what we call the human being, the human body, is that one car you are entitled to for the rest of your life. You don't get a second one. You can fix it, you can, maintain it regularly, but you don't get a second one. Once you're done with it, you're done with it. You can't swap, you can't change it, you can't say, hey, I want to be tall and I'm just going to jump into our crate. No, it doesn't work that way, and we all know that. What am I simply trying to say? I'm just trying to say that going forward on the person, this is 2019. If you're one who has a weight problem, trust me, that will also affect your level of fitness. If you're overweight, if you're underweight, if you're excessively, doing things that are bringing down your energy level, then you still can't put up your best work. Energy is a vibration that will constantly be in use during the stage of creation, right? And you know that we are all humans who are tied to creating things. That's all we do. We create. Nothing is ready-made. We're all creating. So you need that level of energy to be able to create as much as possible. I'm not saying don't drink, don't hang out with your guys or whatever you're supposed to do. Just key properly into your journey in such a way that when you need that level of energy to put in your best work, there's nothing hampering that, that line of action. And just to end it on a proper note, also is sound, just to also put some form of a warning also to it. You also have to balance these things. If it's going to be nutrition, if it's going to be exercising regularly, there has to be a level of balance, because overdoing all those things too would still put you in the stage of someone who has had excessive alcohol the night before, or who's on drugs, or who's not having enough sleep, or who's having, other emotional challenges that will just not put you in the right place. Guys, come on. This thing is possible. It's doable. I used to have this friend. Every time we're watching football together, he always spoke about Cristiano Ronaldo. And he says, I don't know how true it is, but sometimes, some of these things that people say, it gets you thinking. And he said to me the other day that, do you know Ronaldo actually during the season doesn't drink, doesn't have sex, and he's basically training and focused on the season, right? And when I heard the part of the sex part, I was like, really, sex is a bad thing. But he's been able to key into his personal developmental journey in alignment with his goal, which is to be the best footballer in our time. And he already knows those things that deprive his energy level to put up his best work. Hence, he does those practices. It doesn't mean that from January to December, Cristiano Ronaldo is not having sex, or he's not drinking, or he's not. No. He's just been able to understand, and he's been able to fine tune that into putting, that vibration of energy that he needs to be able to put in his best work on the field of play. Guys, it's me, your digital influencer. I'm gonna keep putting out that content. There's a lot we're going to talk about this year, 2019, and the reason why I'm basically doing this is to make you understand that change is possible. It can happen to you. It's not something that only the elite can do. It's open to every strata of the social ladder. It's open to the poor, the middle class, the upper middle class, the rich, the wealthy. As long as you're a human being who wants more for yourself, for your life, for your family, or for whoever you feel pleases you, then this is the right step in that direction. Think about it. The physical pillar is critical, and I want you to think, just sit down, take stock of your physical life in general and see how you can make small tweaks here and there to try and improve your level of fitness, because I can promise you it will show up in whatever you're doing. Come on, guys. It's a digital influencer. Let's have a great one. And I'll see you at the top. Cheers.